Mic is on.
Mic is on, dude.
And we're good. All right. Hey everyone, we're back. Don't let the thumbnail deceive you. I'm not Sean. I'm Joah. But hey, Mic is on. Oh,
Mic is
I
on, dude.
forgot that to mute the YouTube, so I'm hearing myself talk. That threw me way off for a second.
Got it.
Yeah, so we're back with more D&D because that's a fun thing that we all do. All right. So, when we last left off, most of the party here had been involved in a nice Allosaurus fight.
Dinosaur killing time.
Killed some dinos. Yeah, just had a good old time killing things. Which was the first significant action they did on an entirely new planet they had spent 42 years traveling to. So that's fun. Good sign for the future. Welcome to the new planet. Kill these things. Anyways, more or less picking up where we last left off. Actually, before we get into... Wow. It's been a hot minute, and I'm rusty, as you can tell, but we're fine. From the top left, we're going to please introduce yourself and your character. And yeah, we'll just leave it at that, because it's really been no time gap since the previous one, so go for it.
I guess that's me. I'm Zach. I'm playing Searcher. He's a artificer, a Warforged artificer. There we go. Couldn't think of what his race was. And yeah, he's just running around with this little steel defender. It's just a giant dog with a box on its head because it's licking peanut butter.
All right. And Michael, go for it.
Hey, I'm Michael. I'm a boring old human bard, and I was just kind of poking dinosaurs with toothpicks last game. I wasn't really doing anything. Kind of sad about that.
All right.
Hello, everyone. My name is Brock, and I'm playing a auto-born bard, more formally known as a Ford Focus. Please do not copyright strike. Thank you. Anyway, last episode, I was actually spending time getting outfitted with more gear outside of my car, specifically a bull rack at the front of the Ford Focus.
I'm Amanda, and I'm playing Carl Rage Jepson, a dragonborn barbarian. And last episode, I was fighting some dinosaurs to save G-Man.
Caleb? Hello? We're not hearing you talking if you're talking right now.
Me?
Caleb. We'll get back to Caleb while I check his mic. All right, Carl.
Okay. I am Carl, and I am playing my elf druid, sort of wildfire. Lemon. Better known just as Lemmy, because that's just a better way to say it. He is my wildfire druid who is very much all about the parts.
Good stuff. All right. Voice. All right. So we're gonna pick up with Brock and Lemmy, as you two had not been involved in the first steps onto the new world last time. Brock had been undergoing an oil change and some retrofits. most notably, besides the bull rack, you would also you're also being equipped with what's being described by y'all's pilot friend as a MacGuffinite translator. It's something that was newly made up or newly created by the artificers, kind of as a we got to get this done because people are heading to the surface project. It allows you. It's almost it's like a universal translator. The only downside is it's not very refined yet, so it's kind of clunky. You have the ability to communicate with pretty much anything you want, except you lose a seat. So you can carry one less person than what you were able to before. But that's your retrofit, so if you want to mark down Brock that you have that ability now, should be useful in the times ahead.
Outstanding.
Yeah. That is mostly because our guy who could comprehend languages is not here, and also I don't want people just continually burning spell slots just to be able to talk to people. So anyway, you'll be sent out on your way. The pilot is like watching the fight and trying to get you out there, but you're like not in a position yet, and he's like, fuck it. Take Lemmy with you. This is definitely not the voice for him. That's fine. This is all in flashback, so it can be whatever I want it to be. And we'll send you and Lemmy out there. Just as the last dinosaur falls dead. As you're pulling up on just behind the group, you see this group of really tall birds, about 8 of them, with riders on the back of them, who proceed to hop off, and you see mostly, it looks like Dragonborn, various shades, various colors, and Ignis had cast comprehend languages, but then he needed to head back because he realized he forgot something on the ship that is very important, so he had to leave. You saw him leave just as you showed up. But using your translator, you're able to understand what seems to be this leader of this pack is asking you all. To everyone else, you don't. It's a completely foreign language. You have no idea what's being said. There's some. It's like guttural growls and trills and various sort of things. It's completely different from most other languages you've heard, which is to be expected because you're on an entirely new planet. But for Brock, after a few seconds, how this translator works is whatever is said is picked up by the translator and then translated to you. And then vice versa, whenever you send something, it's sent through that and then sent out. So it's hard to pick up inflection because it's a kind of rushed out version. I want you to imagine the voices either direction coming out like text to speech.
Oh, perfect. I'm good at this.
Yeah.
I'm great at this even.
So you have a text to speech translator.
Perfect.
So this leader spouts something off at you, and coming out of the translator, you hear, Thank you for killing the dinosaurs. What are your names? Why are you here?
I mean, just in reply, I turned on my radio a little bit just because beforehand, they don't want to be hearing all that kind of chatter while they're, doing kind of like car surgery on me.
Uh-huh.
In any case, I turned it up a little bit, and I pretty much reply, "You're very welcome. It's my pleasure to be of service." Usually, I'm the one getting serviced. Oh, and of course, my name is O3, and this is Lemmy.
Lemmy waves.
Welcome. What are the names of all of your friends? Comes through the translator.
Well, yeah, fair enough. If you see the human-looking one over there, that's Jick Nonus. See that little strong-looking guy over there? That's going to be Huge Ass. If you look at that robot-looking guy, not similar to myself, we have Searcher. And then last but not least, we have Carl Ray Jepsen.
It is a pleasure to meet you. My name is Oligar. I am the leader of this hunt. We were hunting the Allosaurus for food, but you killed them already. What is your purpose here?
Well, if I'm honest, I don't have much of a purpose. Rather, I'm trying to find it. And you?
To hunt the Allosaur.
Is that it?
Which seemed to be so, at least right now.
You don't enjoy fishing, or you're not much of a knitting guy. I mean, you look to be kind of into your feminine side, maybe a little bit.
I provide for the tribe, as the tribe needs.
Oh, like a mom. Oh, I had one of those. Yeah, she was a 97, so a little young, but it worked.
I do not understand.
No worries, no worries. In any case, it is a pleasure to meet you, and if you wouldn't mind, we would love to see around your little area here.
All right. Yeah, so they agree to take you to their nearby settlement where their tribe is located, and but only on the condition of you all help them move the dinosaurs, the rather sizable dinosaurs, back. I'm gonna say with the help of all of you, plus them and their mounts, you guys are able to pretty efficiently drag them back.
There.
Just as you're doing that, the pilot contacts you. And it's like, hey, I need to get back into orbit just so I can report back to the future. Service isn't so great down here. Need to get out of the atmosphere. This should stay up, so if you need anything, let me know, and I'll be back in 90 minutes or however long it takes me to get down. Oh. Our paladin disappears into thin air. And he returns. So, you watch behind you as your ship powers up, and then with a burst of energy, launches off of the ground and zooms up into the sky, and soon you're not able to see it anymore. It's just gone. You're on the planet now. So these group of hunters Um, it's interesting looking at them. They're compared to the gear and equipment that you guys are used to seeing, which is, you know, like, you know, well forged, well crafted, armor, weaponry, etc. This stuff you would definitely say is more primitive. You know, it's spears where the arrowheads are, or the spearheads are, you know, tied on. They're not like forged in or anything like that. There's nothing like hyper advanced. But what catches your eye is like the armor that they wear and the materials of the spear seem almost like weirdly advanced, like technologically. But it's just kind of something you pick up over time. The armor, you know, seems to be plates of interesting various stuff. After maybe another 20 minutes of dragging the dinosaurs back with Oligar and his band, you see nestled up against the forest a wooden barricade that seems to surround a village. Oligar identifies this as their village, their home, and pretty soon you see lots of other Dragonborn, a couple other some lizard folk running around. You see little Dragonborn kids and lizard folk kids running around playing with each other. You know, they're all pretend sword fighting until inevitably the older one accidentally hits the hand of the younger one, who starts freaking out and crying, and it ends everything. Definitely not something that happened to me as an older brother all the time. Fantastic times. But yeah. So, you catch the eye of a lot of these people because you all are completely new, completely different. You're wearing strange clothes. I mean, Brock, you're very, very eye-catching. So you get a lot of stares, kind of some hushed whispers. Kind of just like a curious crowd begins to follow you guys as you drag these two dinosaurs in. Although the curiosity for you is almost quickly given or changed to excitement for the successful hunt, as people just begin running up and carving off chunks of the dinosaurs, like meat and everything like that. Oligar explains to you guys that the camp, or this tribe, had been almost running out of food and had been very close to starving up until that point. And they normally wouldn't have gone after these two dinosaurs, but it was kind of like a last resort desperation thing. So it's a very exciting moment for this entire village, as strangers and food. Exciting times.
More on the point of the dinosaurs, right?
Uh-huh.
Did they look at me and think that I'm like a heavily plated dinosaur just by my shape?
I mean, you have like some kids kind of run up and like knock on you a little bit and try to like look in and see what's there. There is a pretty sizable. At this point, the interest is kind of 1/3, 2/3 divided. 1/3 on you, the 2/3 on the food. you get lots of people, looking around, like, poking you, touching you, trying to figure out what you are, because this really isn't like anything that y'all have ever seen or they've ever seen. The rest of you
This
guys,
close. I'm
What?
about this close to opening my door and knocking some kids over.
all right. Everyone else is more or less ignored. You get some interesting looks, but people kind of realize that none of you are able to communicate with them other than Brock, which kind of hampers the ability for any of them to actually talk with you guys, or like interact. So most of you are just kind of left to stand there, to your own devices, whatever that may be. There's just kind of a general celebration that starts happening. Very much, episode 6, end of it, just with slightly less cannibalism / eating of stormtroopers. People always forget about that. I don't know how.
Eating of stormtroopers?
And episode 6,
You
yeah.
don't. Yeah, you
I
don't remember that?
No.
Do you
You eat the stormtroopers?
at the very end, when they're doing the whole like dance party and all the Ewoks are dancing and singing and happy, and they show them playing drums with stormtrooper helmets. Flashing back to earlier when they were about to cook and eat Han, Chewie, and Luke. Yeah.
Oh. You're
Yeah.
telling me these teddy bear looking guys are eating stormtroopers?
Yes. They are
That's
tough.
horrifying.
I'm pretty sure canonically they are like apex predators on that planet. Like they are just balls of muscle and fur. It's kind of really dark when you think about it, but anyway, slightly less eating of questionable meats here. Still a celebration and a good time. After a few minutes of this, Oligar returns, having kind of disappeared in the crowd. And with them, there's a parting of the group, and you see a taller red dragonborn. And all these dragonborn are relatively tall. How Amanda, how tall is Carl Rage Jepsen?
Am I like making this up?
That it was whatever you want.
I'm gonna go with 11 feet tall.
Maybe a little bit smaller. I don't know. We'll just say like
10 feet.
11?
feet tall.
11.
Yeah, she. No.
You
Well,
said whatever I want, Joah.
I was thinking you were gonna be like within the realm of reason. I'm sorry.
How is that not reasonable?
We'll
I
see.
could see like 7'2".
Yeah.
Can
See that?
I get 9?
I'll say 7. You're
7?
you're pushing 7.2. All right.
7.5.
No, 7.2. Boom. So you're big. All of these.
Are you body shaming me right now?
I'm just saying tall. I'm coming from someone who's 6'2". You're big. You're tall. Nah.
You love Shaq.
Yeah, you're like Shaq. Sure. Most of these Dragonborn, except for some of the older ones and the kids, are slightly bigger than you. And then when Oligar returns, you see this red Dragonborn who is a good bit above 8 feet. Like this is a big dragonborn. Um, Powerful, like stocky built, looks like a barrel. Um, and is very ornately dressed. Has a nice headdress that again seems to be a unique fusion of like tribal elements with like feathers and such, but then also like metal plates that looking at seems almost like they were made in that shape and just kind of slapped on. Um, Very like ornate and very detailed clothing and a tunic. You notice that their left hand is missing. It just ends at a stump. Um, but this is still a large and intimidating dragonborn. They will survey the situation, and the crowd, which had been, having a party, like block party levels of just starting to go crazy. Fires are being made. It was going to become like a barbecue and everything. The noise dies down extremely quickly once people notice. You get the little kid that screams off in the background, and the mom's like shh, like trying to get it to be quiet. This Dragonborn had seemed to talked with Olgar for a bit. Looks over at you, Brock. Clears the throat. That gets that stuff that's stuck out of it. I got stuff stuck in my throat, and I don't know why. I am Olar. Thank you. I'm chieftain of this village. We were starving, but I thank you for what you did, strangers.
Well, hey, it's better the dinosaurs than me, right?
True. I found that out the hard way. And raises her left arm up. What
What?
is your purpose here? Why? You are not from here. We saw you come from the sky.
Well, uh, how do I put this? Home planet has died, and I'm not saying I'm an alien or anything, although I may seem so. But we are looking for a place to maybe stay or to explore. I mean, the limits are endless, really.
I see. Well, what are your names?
Well, my name is O3. If you want to call me my government name or my VIN number, we can talk about that later. But we all have here Huge Ass. He's the armored looking fellow there. We have Searcher. He's kind of the robot-y kind of dude other than me. We got Jick Notice, the human looking boy right there. And we have Carl Rage Jepson, our freak of nature. Oh, and of course, Lemmy.
Yeah.
You are all strange new creatures to us. Except for the one you call Carl.
Yeah, she's interesting. I will say that.
It is a pleasure to meet you all.
The pleasure's all mine, truly. Other than this food we provided, well, rather fended for ourselves, what else can we do for you guys?
That is enough for the moment. We shall now repay you.
Oh.
And he puts on some sort of attachment onto his stump, and it's like a hand, but it's crafted out of wood. And he claps with it. And people start again picking up speed and start cooking the dinosaurs. You shall be our guests for the feast tonight.
Well, I myself can never turn down a good feast. Of course, you can see. I eat plenty, and I'm sure my compatriots will also say the same.
Can you ask them if they got dinosaur crack rocks, dude?
You got that fruity pebble?
We have pebbles down by the stream.
I hate to inform you about this, Chicknonis, but I don't think they have any of that good yeah, no good here apparently. They might, they just don't probably call it that fruity pebble, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Tough. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, that rainbow fish, you know what I'm saying?
But yeah,
All right, well, as I said, yeah, we are down to go.
All right. You all, as much as is possible, try to start interacting with the group or this village throughout the rest of the night while you party. The meat is cooked up over massive fires. There's beverages procured that are, it seems even on this distant planet, alcohol is a thing. It's a strange, like fruity taste. It's good. Very alcoholic. So you all are having a great time. Looking around this village more, you see that again. It's really weird. You know, you guys are coming from a society that, you know, sure isn't quote unquote technologically advanced according to our above the table standards, but you still have really high tech stuff. I mean, you guys are on a spaceship, and you know, sure, your weaponry and stuff is mostly limited to swords and spears and stuff. So it's weird seeing this interesting fusion of what seems to be like primitive. A lot of the huts are wood and hide, but then you see a lot of elements throughout that are like, that looks like a LED like strip. It's really interesting. And it seems
So
to
like
be
cyber primitive.
basically, yeah. A lot of the clothing and armor that these people are wearing are kind of, yeah, the same deal. Cyber primitive is a good way of describing it. Cyber. And Brock, go ahead and just give me a history check. I'm gonna say with advantage for you.
Oh boy. D&D Beyond is mad slow. Here we go.
Oofed.
All right, we got a 4 with advantage though.
Roll again.
Oh, come on. Oh, okay. So I got a 5 and a 7.
So total of 7.
Yep.
No, I mean it's really cool looking stuff. It's you know, something that you've never really seen before, and it's something you've never seen before. Yeah, but you're not sure like, oh, is this just kind of how it is, or is there like, what is it? It's cool looking and whatever it is. So you all party throughout the night, party hard. I would assume all of you party hard.
Oh yeah, Levy is going to look for two things: making the fire bigger.
Uh-huh.
Fire always needs to be bigger.
Always.
And if there's anybody that like has any musical instruments,
Couldn't
he
be
will
me,
like,
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
couldn't be the two bards in the room. Could not at all.
Yeah. Levy does have a what I call generously calling a lightning loop,
I see.
which is about exactly what you would expect to be a lightning loop to be.
Yeah, and I've practiced this extensively. This Velociraptor cover of "Never Gonna Give You Up," and I play it for the people. It's in the chat.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I can understand this. I'm assuming.
Well, of course, those giant like Kawasaki-looking birds they're riding. Yeah, I think they really understand.
Yeah.
At the very least.
Sorry, I got distracted by that. That is the most cursed thing I have ever seen.
I found it just for this occasion.
That is horrifying.
I'm a good board.
I will say, throughout this party, 03 is extensively looking for somebody to compliment his bull grill that he just got installed.
All right.
He's feigning for that kind of what do you call it? Like attention. It's like a deer that just got its horns for the first time. Trying to show him off.
All right, I see. Fortunately, you don't have to look too far because it seems that Olar, looking at that, he almost seems to draw a correlation between his, headdress that he wears as chief of this tribe, and then that bull rack as a symbol that you're like the leader of the group.
Oh Lord!
So it's
If only they
also
knew.
it's that combined with the fact that he's also you're the only one that he can hold a conversation with. You're kind of the popular one by default. Everyone else starts to kind of pick up, rudimentary phrases here and there. So you can ask for like, more food, please, or like more drink and stuff like that. But you're certainly not able to hold conversations yet. But yeah, is there anything else y'all would like to be doing besides building fires, performing songs, and getting wasted?
I'm just gonna be sitting off to the side, petting my steel defender. Just sitting there, maybe throwing a stick or two.
You'll have a couple of kids kind of wander over to you, looking at G-Man. And
what are the odds I find some dragonbornacy, dude?
Dear God, I don't like that sentence. All right. We'll get back to that. Definitely.
That's offensive to Amanda, bro. Like
You're
how
giving me
over the table? Yeah, over the table. That's ick.
Ick.
I mean, as a human, over the table, of course, but as a human, I'm thinking you'd probably be more likely to get like some like Velociraptor-y, but that's just me.
Some cornicy.
I'm cutting off this conversation right here and now. No. But yeah, Searcher, you'll have a couple like little kids wander up, looking over at G-Man very curiously and trying to figure out what it is, because they've, this is something entirely new. It looks like an animal, but it's not an animal. Some of them like try to pet it. How would
G-Man will be a good boy and
he'll be a good boy?
let him pet. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Freaks out, just bites off their arm. It's like, Mm. Yeah.
And
So,
then I'll hand one of them the stick to try and get them to throw it.
all right. Not bad for a little kid. I rolled for the throw because I wanted to. That's a decent throw from a kid. That kid has a future in baseball. If baseball were a thing here, goes far. G-Man runs after it, retrieves it, runs back. It's just they're all happy, having a good time. You can pretty confidently say that G-Man has made 4 new friends tonight.
I'm going to pick up a rock from the ground, use my magical tinkering so it sheds light in a 5-foot radius, and give it to the kid.
The kid is entranced with it and all his friends. He goes running off with it. Very much little kid got something and goes running off to show his mom deal. Like, that's exactly what's happening here.
Makes sense.
Yeah, just happy kids, happy time. So you got that. Lemmy is having a great old time making big fires even bigger.
Excellent.
You don't burn too much of the meat that was already up there.
Oh no, you don't want to do that. I mean, want to ensure the meat's properly cooked, but not burnt.
Yeah,
Which is why the rest of the fire is the rest of the fire.
If anything, you just did like blackened it.
Oh, I got a nice sear on it.
Exactly. You got a nice seared Allosaurus. But yeah, I mean, over the course of the night, whatever isn't eaten from the dinosaurs seems to be carved up and then dragged off to be preserved. The skin is taken to make hides and various things. They're using every little bit of this that they can. Probably over the next couple of days, they'll work on the bones and any of the internal organs. You don't know what they'll do with. They'll do something with them. But yeah. The morning comes around after a long night of partying. Everyone who is capable of drinking alcoholic beverages and having it affect them, go ahead and roll a Constitution saving throw if you decided to drink the night before.
Oh no.
I got 11.
I got a 5.
All right. 11 and a 5. Let's see. The 11, you're pretty hungover.
I'm still drunk.
Yeah, you're still drunk. It's like you're starting to come off of it, but you're still drunk. And then you get Jick, who is still just plastered. Like, everyone was like, you were like the one guy who everyone else is leaving and going home for the night, and you're still going strong, and everyone's like, should we be concerned about that? All right. 14.
I got a 17.
All right.
On
If Warforged can have Headache Searcher, you got one. Or 3, you're doing fine. You're doing decent. You know, you woke up and stuff was spinning for a little bit, but then it stopped and you're good now. Let's see, who are we missing?
EJ Caleb.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Hopped out, whatever. Carl Ray Jepson, what did you roll?
Let me roll my new fancy dice really quick.
You better use those.
Ooh, will you roll my new fancy dice again, Joah?
Mm-hmm. What'd you get? 3? Oh,
Yeah.
no, I like that too much. Plus whatever con you got.
That's evil.
But it's, no, that's how it works.
I rolled a 20 the first time I rolled these dice earlier.
Yeah, no, she was
You
like, she
wasted
narrowed it down between 2 choices because I was like, here's 4 sets of dice, you take a pick. And she's like, I like these ones. I was like, well, give it a test roll, and she rolled a nat 20 with it.
Now I have a fucking 3.
That it'll get better. So you got to the point last night where
Oh, God.
everyone was drunk enough that everyone's like, Dragonborn, yay! And you're all like drunkenly singing, and it doesn't matter that none of you can speak the same language because you're so drunk, it's not words anyway. So even though you can't communicate in any meaningful way with them, you are officially a part of the tribe.
Hell yeah.
But that being said, you are like still incoherently drunk because this is about 9 in the morning. You didn't stop drinking until about 3 hours ago.
I love to hear it.
Hugh drank a lot and then just kind of disappeared. He's probably like passed out behind a building or something. You don't know. He's gone. All right. The day kicks off. Other than recovering, the day is more or less yours. Is there anything you would all like to do?
Sorry, I was eating a Pop-Tart. I was trying to reply, but anyway, I would like to explore the village a little bit more, kind of see the aftermath.
All right, yeah. Yeah, so you're looking around. You ended up, because you're big and important looking, you ended up staying in the chieftain's house. So you wake up there, and this is it's a pretty nice house. Very spacious, lots of room. You'll come outside, and it's on part like a. This village is more or less situated in kind of a low dip along the grasslands, and it's right up against the forest and kind of goes into it a bit. This is kind of on top of a little rise overlooking most of the village. Just kind of because he's a chieftain and that's what chieftains do. Looking around, it's a pretty open village. You got some trees scattered here and there, but for the most part, it's pretty open. There's a pretty sturdily constructed wall with some watchtowers scattered around it. There's the main gate that you guys came through. Parts of the wall seem to be built with large metal like structures. There's some braces. Most of the gate is also metallic, and it seems to be opened with some sort of large pulley system. But it's a pretty heavy gate. Like, you would not be able to just push it open once it's closed.
I have to talk to Carl about this one.
But other than that, a lot of the buildings are kind of more or less kind of identical of each other. There's you can identify it's like a general dome shaped hut. Some of the structural elements are made with looks like ribs of large animals. Just going off of what you see happening with the Allosaurus corpses, there's already people out and about working on cutting, getting all the bones taken apart before the sinew and other stuff on it really like dries and hardens and becomes any harder to take care of. But there's also other structural elements that are definitely metal. And looking through, you haven't seen any blacksmith or metalworking. It seems that whatever metal is coming or is being used here is mostly just kind of whatever they found around, like looked around or just found. Which would explain why some, the armor, it seems to be generally well constructed armor and weaponry, but it's not identical. Like if you looked at back on the ship, you're like, I want a spear. Unless you get it custom made, it's kind of just a general copy paste spear. It's just here is standard spear template, or here is standard longsword template type deal. Everything here is, you'd be like, oh, that's a sword, but looks different from that sword over there, or looks different from that spear over there, because it seems that whatever metal they used for them is all different.
Should I try and maybe identify what kind of metal it is?
Yeah.
Should I do a throw for that?
Yeah. Let me think. Give me an investigation.
All right. Stand by. Still rolling. All right. My investigation throw is 18. Sorry.
18. All right.
Solid.
Yeah, you look around, and it takes you a little bit to identify it, but after about the third or fourth, looking at a weapon of like a passing guard, at some of the houses, or in the center of the what really sets it off, kind of makes it click for you, is looking at kind of more or less the center of the village, which you guys really weren't able to get a good look at last night, just because it was already getting dark by the time you showed up. It's a massive piece of metal, and you look at it, you're like, oh, that's a leg. Huh. And then that's when it hits you. You've seen this type of metal before. A lot. Like,
Is it relatable to Searcher?
like you've spent the last 42 years surrounded by it.
Oh. Oh. No.
And we're going to take a 15-minute break right there. We'll be back in a bit. is back on. Hey, we're back. But I gotta... hold on. Professionally done. Lemmy is moved because we're back. Anyway, some stuff happened in the 15 minutes that we were gone, / just in general. Y'all are still, kind of recovering, looking around. And you see, or you get Brock, you get a communication from the pilot. Hey, got a package to be delivered to you guys. Stand by. And you'll kind of like look up, and you'll see this tiny prick of light in the sky, and then it gets bigger and bigger, and you hear a sonic boom, and then you see it's has a nice like fiery trail, and it breaks through the atmosphere, and then you watch this fall, and you're like, what the hell is that? And then maybe about 10,000 feet up, parachutes deploy off of it, and using some landing rockets, eventually you see this pod land, and out of it comes Ignis. Seems that whatever he needed to grab from the ship, he was able to grab, and now he's back. And then you see a very drunk, very hungover Hugh stumble his way onto that pod, get inside of it, and after Ignis is a bit away, this thing launches off again. And soon you can't see it anymore. But Ignis is back after being dropped from orbit from the ship. He's here now.
You know what they say? Small things come in big packages.
That's
Dude, you got to ride the
pretty
fire.
true in my case. I'm
Woo!
relatively small in size, yes.
And,
How are you guys doing?
I'm actually good. I might need your help though.
Oh.
I got, as per usual, 4 raging alcoholics here, and I'm gonna need your help round them up as per usual.
Oh no.
Yep.
Listen, I am just lucky if I don't get trampled by these guys. I'll see what I can do, but
I mean, hey, if you wanna get shotgun here, I don't know why they call that, but I don't know what a gun is. Anyway, if you want to hop in, we can kind of pull detail and try and get them all round up.
yeah, let's we'll make this a paddy wagon and wound them all up.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, just open the trunk. We'll toss them in.
Oh, it's the only way I know.
Perfect. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna jump in.
All right.
And go to wherever they're all at.
So I'll do a little bit of retroactive stuff here. You pick up Ignis because it's kind of hard to miss something re-entering the atmosphere and landing outside of the village you're at. But then that's when you begin, while you're looking through for the rest of your party, that's when you do the investigating of the various metal pieces found throughout, leading with the centerpiece here. And as I said, you eventually recognize this as a leg. It's decorated and everything, so it takes you a bit, but this is like the same material that you find on the ship. seems to be a lot of, what would have been working pieces or mechanics on this thing are extremely similar to what you would find on the ship. And then, from there you see that, oh yeah, this is all of this stuff that you're looking at kind of around the village is made up of that same material, and it's eerily similar to the Giant Tech's ship, the Eternal Future that you guys were all on for the past 42 years.
Out of curiosity, how big is it?
How big is sorry, you cut out at the end there. Big is what?
Yeah, how big is the leg?
The leg,
physical size.
I'm gonna say, looking at it, from what you can see, if you look up maybe 10, 15 feet, there's what would be a knee, if you had to guess. And then about another 20, there's the foot, the rest of the leg. The foot is bent straight back, like straight up. So it almost, if you didn't recognize it as leg, you wouldn't be able to tell that that's a foot there, because it's straight in a line with everything else. But it's been decorated. There's strings of lights running off of it, and like ivy twirling up it. Now this thing is a good 30 to 35 feet tall.
And I'm gonna guess it's about halfway up the thigh that it comes out of the ground.
Yeah. So all told, this thing's probably about 40 feet.
The leg itself. Okay.
But yeah, no, the rest of your group kind of eventually stumbles and their way with hangovers and whatnot around.
Here, bro.
What now? No, everyone just kind of stumbles out. But yeah, this Brock is really the one that notices it and kind of points it out to everyone else, who is paying attention and isn't like throwing up or anything like that. You all be standing there as the chieftain Olar walks up to you. I see that you were looking at the spire of the great ancients.
I mean, anything that large would get anybody's eye, right? Or I guess in my case, a windshield.
Right, yes. It is, we built this village around that. It was long foretold that our people would find a gift from the great ancients, and there we would build our city. And long before I was, before I came to be, our tribe built our village here. And so we have stayed.
Neat.
That's cool.
Indeed.
It's very nice and all. I think we did something similar to that back where I'm from, but I can't quite remember that.
Huh. And where did you come from?
Well, if we're really gonna get into it, we can. But let's just say, when a daddy car and a mommy car love each other very, very much.
I meant your group.
Oh, okay.
We're
well, we
from
came
the
up-
heavens. We're God.
Yep. Yep, what the little man said.
Not-
Wait, God?
We are gods.
That might be saying a little bit too much.
Nope, we're gods.
I've never been called a god before.
Not me.
Yeah,
I'm
we're God.
not a god. I mean,
Yeah, let me just kind of walk through.
I'm
like everyone else.
I'm really
yeah,
awesome
God.
and great and everything, but I'm not quite a god.
Can't you see the shining glow of Jick's skin? I mean, like, how could you not?
Well, Jick is
That-
like
that beam?
Actually,
doubled.
the baby oil.
Well, Jick is doubled
okay.
over, puking off to the side.
Yeah. He's practically shimmering. I mean,
We don't
come
have
on.
alcohol in the heavenly kingdom.
It's the
Yeah,
sweats.
just Icker, aka baby oil.
Exactly.
Since Ignis, it was you that started. Give me a deception check on that, just out of curiosity.
Oh no.
One sec. Where's my deep? There it is. Oh, yes. Hold on. That is a 18.
18.
Gang.
Yes, sir.
You are not the first ones from the heavens to come and proclaim yourself gods.
You don't say.
You may be gods. Many of you do seem to bear certain gifts that we are not able to do here.
You dare question
None.
godhood?
I did not say that.
Yep.
It sounded like you said that.
No.
I mean, I wouldn't say that Carl is gifted. I'd say they're a little special, but.
Fire.
Oh, speaking of which, I need like a big cup. Like
Carl is our advisor. He is not a
big,
god,
big mug.
but he's close.
He's like a secretary. She's like a secretary. You know.
Yeah. He hasn't quite gotten his angel wings yet.
Not quite.
Well,
You see these?
as
I just start like wiping my windshield wipers back and forth as my wings.
there you go. As I said, you're not the first to descend from the sky and call yourself gods. We have our first interactions were with a group of creatures, strange looking, even to you. Large. They were
See some strange things.
large creatures.
How?
They.
This is gonna be a weird question.
Hmm.
Hold on. How? How much does this person weigh?
Which one? The one that's talking.
The one that's talking to me.
So, since you missed it, this guy's name is Olar. He is a red dragonborn that is pushing 8384.
Okay, he weighs a lot.
Yeah, he a big boy. He's missing his left hand, but it seems he almost has like a go-go gadget pocket that he has just hands he can switch out for various purposes. He had the hand that he used to clap to start the barbecue last night. At one point, he was cutting the roast Allosaurus with seems to be a knife hand. He has multi-purpose hands.
Okay.
Context,
well, then I'm going to cast a message, and I'm further trying to convince him that we're gods, and I'm going to speak to him in his mind and just be like, but have they been able to communicate with you in a way without using words?
He looks at you a bit surprised. I'm going to roll something on his end and see if he... what I'll say is he won't, they're not going to buy that you guys are gods, but...
Damn it!
No, that's just not... It's not going to happen. Sorry.
We're gods.
He got a 15 plus some stuff. Come, I shall take you to our seer. She can tell us tales.
Do do you think he'd buy it if I tried to cast invisibility on myself, and then like I picked up a stick and made it float around, like ooh?
They already watched a glowing, an artificer give a stone that was not glowing, make it glow, and give it to a kid. Like, and this isn't, as you would explain on the way over to the seer. This is just a society that does not have magic, or if they do, it is extremely, extremely rare. Like every
Oh my God.
1 in 100 births, the child ends up developing some sort of magical capabilities, and those that do are become seers. They become kind of like the knowledge base for the people. They have their stories that were passed down, but they're also able to do things such as heal. Instead of everyone else is like, oh, somebody got stabbed in the leg. Well, we're going to disinfect it, wrap it up, and it'll get better in a few months or so. They'll be able to like do some magical stuff with it. So it's extremely rare. It seems there hasn't been a lot. It seems that this seer is the last seer in about the past 70 years, and there hasn't been another birth of a I don't want to say gifted child because that sounds wrong. A child that has been blessed with magical abilities. There hasn't been one in close to 70 years. So there is some concern that there might not be another one. And like, what happens if the current seer dies and there's not a new magic child? Where does all the knowledge get passed down to? Like, who does that get passed down to? How is that going to happen? So that's starting to become a concern. But there's not a whole lot they can do about it.
How do they appoint their seer?
Basically, if they're magic, if they have magical capabilities and they're from the tribe, they are trained to be by the current seer as like an apprentice, and with the passing of the older seer, they become the seer, and so on and so forth.
Can I make them? Can I like challenge the seer to let them appoint me as the current seer?
I mean, you're not like part of the tribe yet. Sure, the group that you're just happen to be with is like just provided a bunch of food for them. I'm gonna say no for
Paul came
now.
back and chose violence.
Yeah, he did.
What? I want power. I'm power hungry.
Oof.
Bro, you're 3'2".
Yeah, you're like.
But I'm fucking strong as shit with magic, not with.
You're like 1/2 to 1/3 the size of everyone around you. Like, this entire village is 2 to 3 times your size, at least.
Bro, but tell me I don't one-shot the current seer, though.
You're like, I will rule them. I don't know, maybe. We'll find out. All
right, sounds good.
Bro,
you'll all...
you don't want to have to save your ass.
Yeah. You should get your ass beat by a 70-year-old dragonborn. No, you'll be escorted by Olar to the seer's hut, which is kind of somewhat recluse. It's as isolated as you can get while still being a reasonable distance from everything else. It's still within the walls of this village. The village has, you'd estimate 400 to 500 people in it. Yeah, the seer is kind of deeper in the forest, but still in the thing. So you'll see this little hut that is similar, but also not to the majority of all the other huts around. It's covered in hide, but then everything else seems to be made of this metal. Whereas all the others are like, oh, hey, this is like lying pretty close to the where I'm building my hut. I'm gonna use it. This was like painstakingly crafted. All the materials were moved so that the entire interior is made out of the metals.
What a nice throne room for me.
Olar will lead you all in. And eventually, it's dark in there. You don't see anything for a while. And
Don't tell me he's going to do a cool entrance.
You don't know.
No, I totally say that like out loud.
Oh yeah.
Come on, guys, he's got to do a cool entrance.
Olar will light in the middle. There's like a central hearth. He will light it. Sia, we have visitors from the heavens who wish to discuss with you and hear the stories of the great ancients. And after a little bit, you'll hear like some shuffling and some more shuffling, and around from partition comes. This is still it's a hunched over dragonborn. He's blue, but he's hunched over, and you can tell he's old. The scales and everything are kind of saggy. He's got some droop under the chin, but it still seems that he is a relatively powerfully built dragonborn. Dragonborn can get up there in years. Olar told you that Olar's about 70 years old right now. And it looks like he's still prime of his life. The seer looks to be not quite elderly, but he's definitely, past midlife crisis and everything like that. He's on the downward. He'll stop. He has a very intricate staff that has metallic elements throughout it. And he will look over all of you. Welcome, travelers. I hear you want tales of the great ancients. I can do that for you. And he will come sit down at the fire and sprinkle some sort of dust into it as he sits down. He motions you all to sit around the fire, more or less. Very much like, come sit around the campfire, kids. I'm going to tell you a story. And utter some magical incantations. And will begin to tell you the story. And fire will also give not semi-rudimentary, but still really cool looking visual details of what he says.
Do I know? Do I recognize what spell he's casting?
No, a lot of these, what he's doing is kind of almost a weird like amalgamation of a lot of arcane things. It seems that magic here, at least for these people, is very much like if you have magic, you can do a lot. They're like wizards more or less. They can do a lot of stuff. Almost like trying to think of what a good like connection to it would be. I would say it's pretty close to like, in a lot of ways, like Star Wars, like Legend Star Wars, where like if you had the Force, you could do a whole lot of interesting shit with it. There's like, oh, you can run through a wall because you have the Force, or you can do all this stuff because you have the Force. So it seems like he's capable of doing a whole lot, just magically. There's also just a really fancy way of me saying I'm not entirely sure what spell he would have done at that point, but it'd be what it'd do. So he will begin his tale. Many years ago, I would say, as the stories go, it would have been my 10th predecessor. During his time, this land was ruled by the great ancients. Vast beings of power and technology, larger than even our biggest tribe members. Immense strength and technology. They ruled this land and ruled it well. We were safe. They protected us should the need arise, but they did not. It was. Yeah. Sorry, distracted by reading. But they had machines and things that we have never seen. I've never seen in my lifetime. But machines like what yours was, capable of flying through the skies, going at incredible speeds, massive mechanisms that roamed the earth. This world was their domain. And then they left. They disappeared. We don't know why, but they left many things here with them, as you can see throughout our village. We do our best to honor their memories and use what gifts they gave us. However, as the years have worn on, we are less and less able to create or fashion items with what we find. The relics are few and far between. But we still try. Now, I understand that what you came from up among the stars is very similar to what we have here. Is that right?
Yes.
Fascinating. We always thought that they were just here, but it seems that perhaps they were among other worlds. This is glorious. I must dedicate this to memory. Wow. It's, were these great ancients, these giants, were they a part of the world you came from as well?
They were long gone.
They were. Wow.
We heard stories and legends, but that was all that we had.
Do I know anything more about the past or whatever?
I mean, similar to here, somewhat. The giants from Aroni, where you came from, were very advanced. Oh yeah, gotta eat the food. They were extremely advanced. Like there's ruins and stuff that were all over Aroni. And there's some technology that kind of towards the end of you being on Aroni before you left, that was being reverse engineered in several capacities. And I mean, the ship that you all journeyed here on is giant tech. Obviously with some additions to make it more livable for people that aren't giant sized. And you would know that O3 is in some still not quite as fully known way connected with the giants as well. But no, I mean, it seems, thinking back to Aroni, the ship and everything, you might be might start to click for you that whoever these giants were, they might have disappeared thousands of years ago from both respective places, but it seems that maybe they were the giants from here and the giants from there are the same. Like they had, their domain was spanning not only various systems, but also potentially dimensions. So all this will probably just start to click for you with your knowledge of history of Aroni and everything. But the seer will wrap up his tale and finish up the prestidigitations he used on the fire to kind of make it do some cool shapes. The shapes you see, looking at them, you could maybe pick up like, oh, that's probably a ship. It's almost like looking at it, it's fuzzy of like, you can probably have a decent idea of what it is. Kind of like when you're dreaming, everything seems really clear and concise, but when you wake up, if you can remember it at all, it's very like hazy and not at all clear and doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because that's how our brains work for no apparent reason. But it seems that that's just what's kind of naturally happened over the centuries and millennia of the seers passing on the story. The first one, who was alive when the giants were here and then left, could paint an extremely clear picture of what their giant tech looked like because they had seen it and seen it function. And then the next one was pretty clear, but not quite as clear just because they hadn't seen it, and so on and so forth. So, it went from, oh, they flew this type of ship to like they had ships in the sky and they had things on the ground and they could do a lot of cool stuff with them. But yeah, no, it's pretty safe bet to assume that the giants of this world and your world are connected.
Cool.
Interesting.
So, is there anything else I can do for you tonight? Today, not tonight. Today.
I don't think so. You've been pretty helpful so far.
It is my job. I am seer. I must continue my work. I am working on ways of healing that accelerate the current medicinal practices we have.
Let me ask you.
Anything we can help you with? Because I know I can do a little bit of healing.
Mm.
I don't know about my friends here.
I would appreciate their help. I mean, but potentially, if you're coming from the stars, you have a different way of doing things, or able to make things that I might not be able to. So, please.
Well, let me give you a demonstration. Let me make sure I have the spell prepared. Would you look at that? I don't.
Oof.
Oh, I have a healing spell prepared. I could just.
Oh, do you? Okay.
I could just stab Searcher and then heal him, right?
No, I'm gonna stab myself.
Oh.
Okay. Or maybe there's a sick person here that we can just.
Oh yeah, maybe that's the better idea.
Nope.
No,
I'm gonna take out my dagger and just like across the palm of my hand.
Yeah, and then I'll cast Cure Wounds on it. Splow.
Wow. Such knowledge was one that was held by my forefathers many generations ago, but has since been lost to time. If you are able, I would be greatly interested in learning that.
Oh, I think we could definitely help you a little bit with that.
Thank you, friends.
I'm not quite sure how to teach it to you, but I can find out.
I can learn very, very well on my own, or not on my own. If I see something a few times, I can generally imitate it, and
He's a visual learner.
yes.
So now we stab the seer and then heal him.
Heal yourself now. Go.
Wait. Do you have any capacity of like making like a potion here?
We have healing herbs, which we can make ointments and medicines to drink from, if that is what you mean.
So above the table,
Mm-hmm.
if I give him one of my healing potions, can I try to see if he would be able to replicate it?
You can certainly try.
Oh, okay.
I mean, just looking around, at the environment in general, seems pretty similar to, back on Arony and everything. So, to make a healing potion would take time, but if there's any one place to go to make a healing potion, is probably the local medicine magic guy.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, what's his name again?
His name is Seer because
Cool.
in this society, when you become a seer, you like give up your old name, and you just become the seer.
Okay. Seer.
Yes.
If I told you that I had an elixir here that is able to help restore health, would you think that you may be able to replicate this so that you could make more of them?
I might.
Because I mean,
I
it
have.
obviously would be very advantageous for both the community here as well as us if we need them later on.
I agree. Would you happen to know what went into making those healing potions? What ingredients?
Would I know the ingredients?
Um. So do you remember where you got this healing potion from?
I got it on the ship.
On the ship. Okay.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, that was like part of the Thieves Guild
Mhm.
stock up.
Yep.
Um.
I have a couple of them, but I would assume that being a wizard, I may have experience with health potions.
A little bit. I would say that because you did get them from the Thieves Guild and also just in general a semi industrialized society that is on the ship. These are like, because they're your run of the mill healing potions who have just started to get back up and running because of the whole magic stuff.
Mhm.
It's like a name brand, like great value healing potion. So it would have the ingredients on the back. Now, figuring out those ingredients compared to what's here might be a little bit, but you have a general idea.
Okay. So it says it on the back of the bottle here. but but I don't know what you would call these things here. I have a couple of them. I'm willing to let you borrow a couple of them if in return, whenever you master this process, that you may, return the favor, if you will.
I can try. I also like how your voice got like more posh as that went on.
Yeah, I don't know why. It just happened.
I can
we're
turn
gonna roll
if
with
you
it.
return the favor. Yes, yeah.
Yes. Right.
I could do that. I think if you and me work together on this, we could figure
Yes.
out.
I would be happy to work with you.
All right. If there are any more questions for me, I will answer them now. Otherwise, myself and I'm sorry, I did not get your name.
Ignis.
Ignis here will begin working on our project.
Where did you find this?
This stick was passed down from seer to seer over the years. Each, if you look on it, and towards the top, there's metallic rings, of various colors and makes, thicknesses, etc. And there's about 15 of them on there. And he goes on, the staff is the staff of the seers. When each of us becomes seers, we put on our own ring to symbolize us joining with the previous seers to gain their knowledge. I am the 17th seer of this tribe, and unless we are blessed with the birth of another child that is magically inclined, I may be the last. But
Okay. Well, hopefully not, because I mean that staff is still.
I too wish to pass on my knowledge before I become too old. But this staff lets me channel the power to conjure spells and other magical things that I so need.
All right. I use my lightning for that mostly.
Interesting. Is magic as common where you are from? As you
Yeah.
Wow, it's just so rare here. Even among the other tribes we encounter, it is rare. But there's rumor of far across the sea, a great kingdom ruled by wizards, but none who venture there ever return, and we have not seen anything. It's just rumors from the brave.
Lemmy is totally making me unhappy kind of face. Ruled by wizards is bad.
I like wizards. I think we should go check it out.
Says the wizard. All right.
Right.
So, with that, the seer and Ignis will begin working on potion stuff. I'm gonna do one roll. If you want to do a Arcana check for me,
Sure.
I'm gonna do one on my end.
It's gonna be nuts. Oh yeah. I got a 23.
23. Yeah, he got
I have
a
+6.
he got an 18 on the dice plus
Nice.
like 4, so I got like a 22.
Oh wow.
It'll still take you like a couple days to really like finalize the product, so to speak. So you two will be working on that. The rest of you will have just a couple days to kind of putz around. For those who don't have a way of just magically communicating with people, it's a couple days to kind of like learn the language, talk with people, etc. So with those couple days of rest, recovery, and working underway, we're gonna go ahead and wrap things up here. Yeah, y'all had a big party and learned some really interesting facts. We're going to pick this back up in 2 weeks, which is going to be Monday the 12th. So September 12th, we will be back with more Eternal Future. So make sure you're around. If you like what you see, go ahead and like and subscribe so you won't miss out on any more games we got. We have a game tomorrow night. We'll have another game Saturday. We have lots of fun stuff happening every week, so make sure you're around. But that's all I got. So without further ado, thank you for watching, and we will see you all in a couple weeks. So go kick some ass, roll some 20s, and have a good one.
Bye.